Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is lecture 2 in your Writing 103 course. And the focus of this lecture is Describe your family and home. This is the title of the unit. First, the lecture components for today are vocabulary. Under the vocabulary, we'll see home and family vocabulary, singular and plural vocabulary, and adjectives. The grammar component consists of simple present tense, prepositions, and possessive adjectives. Strategies and conventions. We have capitalization. We're going to capitalize complete sentences. Introduction to this lecture. Again, this is the same introduction as the previous lecture. This lecture starts with a reading text, which we will then analyze for the major parts that we have just mentioned in slide number 1, the vocabulary, the grammar, and conventions. Again, also, most parts in this lecture are followed by references to web pages. You should refer to those web pages to study more about the main points. Let's start with the reading text, which is 2 slides. This is the first slide, and we'll be talking about Francisco and his family. In this first paragraph, we have information about Francisco's family. Okay. Now, Francisco has 4 people in his family. His parents' names are Berta and Miguel. Francisco does not have a brother. He has a sister. Her name is Maria. Francisco's father is very smart. He is a computer programmer. He works in a big office. Francisco's mother works in a bookstore. She is very kind. She reads books in her free time. Francisco and Maria do not work. They go to Oak Street School. They are good students. They study every day. After school, Francisco plays baseball and Maria listens to music. Now you see, all these sentences are about Francisco, his father, his mother, and his sister. Now, let's look at the following slide, which is about Francisco's house. Francisco and his family live at 145 Oak Street in Los Angeles, California. This is the address. They do not live in a house. They have a nice apartment. Their apartment has 3 bedrooms, a living room, a kitchen, and a bathroom. Mr. and Mrs. Garcia's bedroom is next to the living room. Maria's bedroom is next to their room. Francisco's bedroom is across from Maria's bedroom. The bathroom is between Francisco's bedroom and Maria's bedroom. They aren't big bedrooms. They are small. They are clean and comfortable. The Garcia family is very happy in their home. So, this slide is about Francisco's house, the rooms in his house, his parents' rooms, and his sister's room, and the other rooms. Now let's discuss these two slides about Francisco's family and house. First, look at these sentences and try to make similar sentences about yourself. Sentence 1, I have 3 people in my family. I have 3 people in my family. So you can say, I have 4 people in my family. I have 5, 6, 7 people in my family. Their names are Ahmad, Iman, Selwa, etc. So you give the names of the people in your family. Their names are. I live in a house. I live in an apartment. Make a similar sentence. Number 4, my house has 3 bedrooms, or 4 bedrooms, or 2 bedrooms. My house has 2 bathrooms. My house has 2 living rooms, or 1 living room. My house has 1 kitchen. 1 kitchen. You see, we have some singular nouns like kitchen. We have plural nouns like bedrooms, 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, etc. Sentence 5, my home is big or small. My home is nice. My home is clean. My home is comfortable. These are adjectives. You remember from lecture 1, we talked about adjectives. Now try to write similar sentences, like these sentences, about yourself and your house. Now let's talk about the singular and the plural. To make a singular noun plural, add S to most singular nouns. Let's look at these examples. 1 bedroom, 1 bedroom, 2 or 3 bedrooms. You notice the S in bedrooms. 1 brother, 2 or 3 brothers. 1 class, 4 classes. You see, classes, we added ES. Now, on this slide, you can see 2 web pages about the singular and plural. In the first web page, you can do some exercises and then you can check your answers. They are very helpful. The second web page has a PDF file with answers. You can learn more nouns here, singular or plural nouns. So I advise you to go to these web pages and learn more about nouns. Now let's do a vocabulary exercise, which is on page 16 in your book. You see, on this page we have 5 words: mother, father, parents, sister, and brother. All are family members. Sentence number 1, Berta and Miguel are Francisco's what? Mother, father, parents. We are talking about 2 people. They are Francisco's parents, which means his father and mother. Sentence 2, Maria is Francisco's what? Maria is Francisco's sister. She is his sister. Number 3, Francisco is Maria's, this is the opposite. Francisco is Maria's brother. He is her brother. He is her brother. Francisco's blank is a computer programmer. Who works as a computer programmer? His father. Francisco's father is a computer programmer. Number 5, his blank works in a bookstore. Who works in a bookstore? His mother. His mother works in a bookstore. We have 6 more words and 6 more sentences. Look at the sentences and the words. We have bedrooms, living room, kitchen, bathroom, house, apartment. Now all these sentences are about Francisco's house. Sentence 6. The Garcia family lives in an, which means the noun must start with a vowel. Which noun starts with a vowel? Apartment. Yes, apartment. They live in an apartment. Number 7. They do not live in a, they live in an apartment, so they do not live in a house. They do not live in a house. Their apartment has 3 what? Has 3 bedrooms. There are 3 bedrooms in their apartment. Sentence 9. It, which means their apartment, also has a living room, blank, and a bathroom. What does it have? It has a kitchen. A kitchen. Sentence 10. Francisco's parents' bedroom is next to which room? Is next to the living room. The living room. And the last sentence, the what is between Francisco's bedroom and Maria's bedroom. Which room? It's the bathroom. The bathroom is between the 2 rooms. So all these sentences, we have 11 sentences. We took them from the reading passage in slides 2 and 3. Now let's talk about adjectives and the opposite of adjectives. Small and silly and good. These are 3 adjectives. So you say, this apartment is small. The opposite of small is big. This apartment is big. Silly. What's the opposite of silly? Smart. Smart is the opposite of silly. Francisco's father is smart. He is not silly. Good. The opposite of good is bad. Bad. Let's do an exercise on the adjectives and their opposites. We have 4 sentences here from exercise B on page 16. Sentence 1. Mr. Garcia is silly. No. Mr. Garcia is smart. The opposite of silly is smart. Sentence 2. Mr. Garcia works in a small office. A small office. We know that. Mr. Garcia works in a big office, not a small office. Sentence 3. Mrs. Garcia is very mean. mean. You know the meaning of mean, but you know the meaning of the opposite of mean, which is Mrs. Garcia is very kind. She is not mean, she is kind. Sentence 4. Francisco and Garcia are bad students. Are they bad students? No. They are good students. Francisco and Maria are good students. Sentences 5 and 6 and 7, the same exercise. Have a look at these sentences and think of the opposite of these adjectives. We have big, dirty, and sad. What's the opposite of big? Small. So, the apartment has small bedrooms, not big bedrooms. What's the opposite of dirty? The opposite of dirty is clean. The apartment is not dirty. The apartment is clean. The last sentence, the Garcias are sad. The Garcias, which means the Garcia family, are sad. No, they are not sad. They are happy. The Garcias are happy. On this slide, you can see a web page address. It's also about adjectives and the opposite of adjectives. On this web page, you can learn a lot about adjectives and their opposites. And there is an exercise that you can do. And you can also check your answers on that page. After you finish the exercise, you can use adjectives from that page to write your own sentences. Write your own sentences. Don't just do the exercise. Okay? Now, the simple present tense. What is the simple present tense? Let's take some examples. Sentence 1. Ahmad lives on King Abdullah Street. What is the verb in this sentence? The verb is lives, which means that this is a fact or a general truth. He lives there. Now, how do you negate this sentence? The negative, he does not live on King Abdulaziz Street. He lives on King Abdullah Street. He does not live on King Abdulaziz Street. You see the S in lives, the first sentence. In the second sentence, does not live. Another example, Ahmad and his family live. They live on King Abdullah Street. The verb live. They do not live on King Abdulaziz Street. Now look at sentences 1 and 2 again and see how they are different. Lives, does not live. Live, do not live. Another example, sentence 3. Ahmad has a small bedroom. Ahmad has a small bedroom. How do we negate this? Okay. He does not have a big bedroom. He has a small bedroom. And the last example, Ahmad and his family have a big house. No, they do not have a small house. Yes, they have a big house. They do not have a small house. Okay, now again look at the 4 sentences and study the differences between them. To summarize the previous slide, look at this slide. We have the affirmative and the negative, and also the contractions. The contraction: live, affirmative; negative, do not live; contractions: don't live. Lives, does not live, doesn't live. Have, do not have, don't have, don't have. Has, does not have, doesn't have. Let's do this exercise together. Now this is exercise A on page 17. Sentences, we have 6 sentences here. Look at the sentences. Number 1, Francisco has or have 4 people in his family. What do you think? Okay, Francisco has 4 people in his family. He has 4 people in his family. Sentence 2, Francisco doesn't have or don't have a brother. Yes, what do you think? He doesn't have. Francisco doesn't have. Number 3, Mrs. Garcia reads books in her free time. She reads or read. Okay, she reads books in her free time. Francisco and Maria doesn't work or don't work. What do you think? We have 2 people, Francisco and Maria. They don't work. Don't work. Number 5, they goes or go to school. Again, they go to school because we have 2 people here. They studies or study every day. Okay, right. They study every day. So this is an exercise on the simple present. Now, this is not enough about the simple present. You need to learn more about it. And on this web page, there is an excellent presentation. It's a PowerPoint presentation on the simple present. You go there, visit this website, and watch the presentation. It will help you a lot. Now, the following topic is about prepositions. In this unit, we are talking about 3 prepositions. Now, look at this diagram. In this diagram, we can see the living room. This is Francisco's house, by the way. The living room, kitchen, Francisco's room, bathroom, Maria's room, Mr. and Mrs. Garcia's room. Okay, now we have 3 sentences here about this picture or this diagram. Sentence number 1. Mr. and Mrs. Garcia's bedroom is the living room. Where is it? It's next to. The bedroom is next to the living room. This is a preposition. Number 2, the kitchen is blank, their bedroom. Look at the diagram. Where is the kitchen? And where is the a Mr. and Mrs. Garcia's room. Okay? It is across from. Across from. Look at the diagram again. The kitchen is across from their bedroom. Sentence 3. Maria's bedroom is blank her parents' bedroom. Look at the diagram. We have Maria's room and her parents' room. They are next to each other. Then Maria's bedroom is next to her parents' bedroom. We have more sentences about this diagram. 2 more sentences. Look at number 4, sorry. Francisco's bedroom is blank Maria's bedroom. Look at the diagram. Where is Francisco's bedroom? And where is Maria's bedroom? Across from. Across from. The last sentence. The bathroom is blank Francisco's bedroom and Maria's bedroom. We have 3 rooms here. So, the bathroom is between Francisco's bedroom and Maria's bedroom. Now, it's your turn to write similar sentences about the rooms in your house. You need to write similar sentences about the rooms in your house. Okay? Now, on this topic we have several web pages about prepositions, because there are many prepositions in English and you need to learn as many as you can. So you can see we have the first web page, and the second web page you can learn about prepositions of place. Place, not time. We are talking about place here. And the last web page, there is a listening exercise about directions. You can listen and learn about directions. So these web pages are about prepositions of place and directions. The following topic is about the possessive form. The possessive form, such as Ahmad's room, Ahmad's room, his room, Layla's room, her room. Look at these examples. Example number 1. Francisco's bedroom is across from Maria's bedroom. Now you know the meaning of this sentence. Francisco's, do you see the S? Francisco's bedroom is across from Maria's bedroom. This is the possessive form. Possessive. Now the pronoun his bedroom. We call this a possessive adjective. Possessive adjective. Francisco's, his. Look at sentence 3. Mr. and Mrs. Garcia's bedroom is next to the living room. Okay? The possessive adjective is there, because we are talking about 2 people. Their bedroom is next to the living room. Okay, now we have an exercise on the possessive form. Look at the first sentence. We have a noun, Mr. Garcia's office. Mr. Garcia's office is very big. What's the possessive adjective? His, or her, or their. Okay, his office is very big. His office is very big. Sentence 2. Mrs. Garcia's job is in a bookstore. is in a bookstore. She's a woman, so her job is in a bookstore. Sentence 3. The school is close to Francisco and Maria's apartment. Francisco and Maria's apartment. Two people. Okay? Their apartment. The school is close to their apartment. Okay? Sentence 4. We will do the opposite. Now, you have the pronoun or the adjective there. What's the noun? Their bedroom is next to the living room. We're talking about Mr. and Mrs. Garcia's bedroom. Their bedroom. Sentence 5. His bedroom is next to the kitchen. His. We are talking about a boy or a man. We are talking about Francisco. Francisco's bedroom is next to the kitchen. And one more example. His bedroom is across from her bedroom. His and her. Francisco and Maria. Francisco's bedroom is across from Maria's bedroom. Okay, again we have more web pages about the possessive form. We have 3 web pages. The second web page is an interactive quiz. You can do the exercise and after that check your answers. You will know that they are correct or not correct. And you can also correct your mistakes. So we have 3 web pages on the possessive form. Now, each sentence or every sentence should have a subject and a verb. Look at this sentence. Francisco and his family live at 145 Oak Street. Francisco and his family is the subject in this sentence. It's the subject. Live is the verb in this sentence. So we have subject plus verb. Francisco and his family live. Now, we will do an exercise together, which is on page 19. Which is the subject and which is the verb in the following sentences? Look at sentence number 1. The subject is Mr. Garcia. Right. It is written in red here. Mr. Garcia. And the verb is works. Mr. Garcia, subject, works, verb. Another sentence. Where is the subject? And where is the verb? Okay. The subject is Francisco's mother. One person. Francisco's mother. His mother. And the verb works. Another sentence. She reads books in her free time. Where is the subject? The subject is she. It's a pronoun, a subject pronoun. And we studied this in lecture number 1. Subject pronouns. She, he, they, etc. She reads books in her free time. Number 4. Francisco and Maria go to Oak Street School. Where is the subject? Francisco and Maria. And the verb is go. And number 5, they study every day. They, Francisco and Maria. They, subject pronoun. And the verb is study. And number 6, Francisco plays baseball. Subject Francisco, and the verb is plays baseball. 7. Maria listens to music. Subject Maria listens, verb. Now, it's your turn to write about yourself. You need to write sentences about yourself. Look at these sentences. Number 1, my name is Mark Hansen. Write about yourself now. My name, for example, is Ahmad Al-Hamad. Number 2, I am 15 years old. Write a sentence about yourself, like this one. Number 3, I live in Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas. Where do you live? I live in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. I live in Dammam, Saudi Arabia. Sentence 4, my father works in a restaurant. Where does your father work? Okay. For example, my father works in a company, or in a restaurant, or in a factory. His name is Mike. What's your father's name? His name is Mike. Write a sentence about your father's name. He listens to music in his free time. What does your father do in his free time? He what? Reads books, reads the news, watches TV, whatever. More sentences about yourself. Number 7, my mother's name is Janet. My mother's name is Janet. Write a sentence. Number 8, she's a teacher. What does she do? She's a teacher. Okay? She's a teacher. She's a nurse. She's a housewife. My brother's name is Alex. What's your brother's name? My brother's name is Ahmad, for example. Sentence 10, he, my brother, he plays soccer in his free time. What does your brother do in his free time? He reads, studies, does his homework, watches television, plays with his friends. 11. Our family lives in a nice apartment. Our family lives in a nice apartment. Where does your family live? In a house, in an apartment, a nice house, a big house, a small house, a comfortable house, etc. Our house has 5 rooms. How many rooms does your house have? Our house has 3 rooms, 5 rooms, 10 rooms, etc. Now, this is an exercise about irrelevant ideas, and we did one like this in lecture number 1. Look at the first paragraph. My name is Greg Mandel. I am 15 years old. I live at 16 West 7th Street in Chicago. I am a student. My father plays tennis in his free time. We have 5 sentences, but the last sentence is irrelevant. Irrelevant. It does not belong here, so we don't write it in the same paragraph. You see, my name is Greg Mandel. I am 15 years old. I live at 16 West Street in Chicago. I am a student. Now, try to write a paragraph, 4 sentences about yourself. Don't write a sentence about your father or brother or sister in this paragraph. Look at this paragraph. We have 4 sentences. Look at it and read the paragraph. Which sentence is irrelevant? Irrelevant. See, the sentence is number 3. Sentence number 3 is irrelevant because sentence number 1 is about our house. Our house. Number 2, my bedroom. Number 4, the bathroom. But sentence number 3, my mom is really funny. No. This paragraph is about the rooms in the house. It's not about your mother or father. So, sentence 3 is irrelevant. You should cross it out. Now, let's do this exercise just like the one we did in lecture 1. Now, which sentence look at the sentence number 1, Mr. William work in a restaurant. Mr. William is underlined. Choose the best substitute for the underlined words. If it's correct, choose make no change. So the sentence should be Mr. William works, not work. Sentence 2, my house have a living room and 2 bedrooms. My house has a living room, not have. My bedroom is big. He is not clean. You are talking about the bedroom. What is the subject pronoun we use for a bedroom? It, not he. It is not clean. Faisal and Ahmed goes to King Fahd school. Faisal and Ahmed goes or go? Go. My sister is really mean. My sister is really mean. I like her a lot. No, she's not mean. She is nice. Now, again, here you have the bookshops where you can find the textbook. Thank you very much and see you next time.